After 5 months of development, Pi Network launches Fiat purchase function, that expanding crypto access for all. Yeah, you heard that right. Pi Network just shattered the biggest barrier in crypto adoption, and what happened in the last 5 months will blow your mind. If you've been mining Pi, staking tokens, or testing dApps, this announcement changes the entire game. Pi Network continues to prove that meaningful crypto innovation requires more than visibility. It requires strategy, structure, and community trust. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why Pi Network just leapfrogged every other blockchain project with one strategic move that took incredible patience to execute perfectly. Now, I want to hear from you, pioneers. Are you more excited about the merchant possibilities, the developer opportunities, or the governance improvements? Do you think this Fiat integration will impact Pi adoption in your local area? Developers watching this, what kind of applications are you planning now that users can easily acquire Pi for in-app purchases? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I read every single one, and your insights help shape our future coverage. Let's now greet and welcome pioneers from every corner of the globe. Whether you're turning from the United States to Nigeria, from Germany to the Philippines, from Brazil to India, or anywhere else on this beautiful planet, this is your home for Pi Network updates that actually matter to your daily mining journey and ecosystem participation. You can join our community by smash subscribe button and ring notification bell if you haven't already, so you never miss an update. Also, comment PI Network to the moon along with your country to show the world just how massive and united our pioneer movement really is across every continent. Now, if you're wondering whether you're in the right place, you absolutely are. I'm about to break down the Pi Network announcement that every single pioneer has been anticipating since Open Mainnet launched. This isn't just another update. This is the infrastructure breakthrough that transforms Pi from an experimental network into a fully functional digital economy. Stay with me, because the implications of what I'm about to share will completely change how you think about Pi's future. Pioneers, here's the news that's sending shockwaves through the entire Pi ecosystem. After 5 months of intensive development following Open Mainnet activation, Pi Network has officially launched its native Fiat purchase function directly inside the Pi wallet. But before you think this is just another buy button, let me explain why this represents a fundamental shift in how decentralized finance actually works. Unlike every other blockchain project that rushes liquidity features to create market hype and speculative trading volumes, Pi Network's leadership chose a deliberately patient, infrastructure-first approach. Those 5 months weren't wasted time. They were strategic investment in technical integrity, regulatory compliance, and security architecture that will serve millions of pioneers for years to come. The engineering team focused their energy on user verification protocols that ensure every single purchase is tied to KYC-cleared accounts, preventing the fraudulent volume manipulation that plagues other crypto networks. They built smart contract integration that automates Fiat to Pi conversions through trust-minimized protocols, eliminating the need for centralized intermediaries that could compromise the decentralized nature of the network. They validated transaction integrity across every device type and wallet configuration to guarantee stability regardless of how pioneers access their accounts. Most importantly, they conducted comprehensive Fiat compatibility assessments, aligning with regional payment systems and adjusting for legal considerations across different markets worldwide. The result isn't just a purchasing tool, it's a gateway that perfectly aligns with Pi's core values of accessibility, decentralization, and verified identity. This represents everything Pi Network stands for, wrapped into one seamless user experience. Now let me ask you something, pioneers. How many of you have struggled with traditional crypto exchanges? How many times have you felt frustrated trying to navigate external trading platforms with their confusing interfaces, steep learning curves, and exposure to wild speculative volatility? For Pi Network, whose entire model centers on mobile mining, reputation scoring, and utility-first deployment, centralized exchanges have never been the path forward. With this new wallet feature, verified pioneers no longer need to navigate external trading platforms that treat crypto like a casino game. You don't have to manage complex token pairings and slippage conditions that can eat into your purchasing power. Instead, the Pi wallet becomes your direct access tool for activating economic behavior within a self-contained Web3 ecosystem. This democratizes crypto access in ways that matter, making entry smoother for younger users who shouldn't have to become trading experts, older populations who want simple financial tools, and regions with limited traditional financial infrastructure who need alternatives that actually work. Merchants accepting PiCoin will experience dramatically increased buyer liquidity and consistent purchasing behavior. Instead of hoping customers already have Pi from mining, businesses can now serve customers who buy Pi on demand for specific purchases. This transforms Pi from a mining curiosity into legitimate payment infrastructure. Developer engagement will explode as app builders can now design scalable payment flows with predictable coin availability. No more building applications that only work if users happen to have enough Pi from mining. Developers can create premium features, subscription services, and in-app purchases, knowing users can acquire Pi instantly when needed. Governance alignment gets a massive boost because ownership tied to verified purchases gives voting weights and proposal systems genuine legitimacy. When people invest their own money into Pi, they become more engaged stakeholders in the network's future direction. Let me pause here and ask you something important, pioneers. What do you think has been Web3's biggest challenge over the past few years? It's not the technology, the smart contracts work fine. It's not the decentralization. Blockchain architecture is solid. The real challenge has been accessibility, especially for people outside traditional tech demographics. Pi Network's Fiat purchase feature addresses this challenge by embedding seamless access inside a familiar wallet interface where users already mine and interact daily. Web3 stops being this abstract concept that requires computer science degrees to understand. Instead, it becomes immediately transactional where users send and receive PiCoin with minimal fees. It becomes programmable where PiCoin activates smart contract functions across applications without users needing to understand the underlying code. It becomes participatory where users influence ecosystem direction through stake-weighted governance that feels natural and meaningful. Most importantly, it becomes inclusive where no exchange expertise or coding skills are required to participate fully. These layers signal a mature Web3 model built around verified identity and practical utility rather than speculation and technical complexity. Now, some of you might be wondering about regulations and safety. Here's why Pi Network's approach is brilliant from a compliance perspective. Launching Fiat functionality inside the Pi wallet enables stronger regulatory alignment because Pi Network's verified user model ensures that every purchase reflects real identities, protecting both users and merchants from bot-driven manipulation or shadow trading that regulators hate. The security protocols include full KYC integration before any purchase permissions are granted, native transaction tracking for audit readiness that satisfies regulatory requirements, region-specific payment system safeguards that adapt to local banking laws, and smart contract monitoring for anomalous activity that could indicate fraud or manipulation. Together, these ensure that as Pi scales globally, legal and technical frameworks remain intact and trustworthy. This brings me to something crucial about Pi Network's philosophy that sets it apart from every other blockchain project. Since open mainnet activation, Pi has progressively introduced ecosystem features like staking tools, developer APIs, merchant-facing dashboards, and ecosystem challenges. Each component builds a foundation where PiCoin functions not as a speculative asset designed for pump and dump schemes, but as a digital engine powering real economic activity. Those 5 months of development for Fiat integration prove that strategic patience drives robust innovation, that ecosystem strength must precede liquidity access, and that functionality creates more lasting impact than fanfare and marketing hype. Now that the direct purchase feature is live, Pi pioneers can move seamlessly from user to buyer without losing sight of contribution-based growth that makes the network valuable. Those 5 months of development for Fiat integration prove that strategic patience drives robust innovation, that ecosystem strength must precede liquidity access, and that functionality creates more lasting impact than fanfare and marketing hype. Now that the direct purchase feature is live, Pi pioneers can move seamlessly from user to buyer without losing sight of contribution-based growth that makes the network valuable. This dual strategy approach, as explained in Pi Network's official communications, combines high-signal strategic investments through Pi Network Ventures with grassroots initiatives like hackathons and community-driven platforms that scale utility building. This ensures both selective, high-impact investments and widespread community-driven efforts to expand Pi's practical ecosystem. The result is an investment strategy that doesn't just build on blockchain technology, it builds bridges between blockchain innovation and real-world application. What gives Pi Network Ventures and its portfolio companies an unprecedented competitive advantage is access to Pi Network's massive, active, and KYC-verified user base. We're talking about tens of millions of users spread across more than 200 countries and regions, with over 19 million users who have already completed their identity verification through Pi's comprehensive KYC process. This isn't just a number, it's a verified, engaged, global audience that portfolio companies can access for network-driven growth and innovative tokenomic model implementation. Think about what this means for any company that becomes part of the Pi Network Ventures portfolio. They're not starting from zero, trying to build user adoption. They're plugging into an existing ecosystem of millions of verified users who are already familiar with Pi Network's technology and actively engaged with its development. This represents a fundamental competitive advantage that no other cryptocurrency ecosystem can offer at this scale. With Fiat on-ramps comes the critical importance of regulatory compliance and transaction security, and Pi Network has addressed these challenges through strategic partnerships with Banxa and OnRamper. These aren't random payment processors. They're specifically designed to meet the stringent regulatory requirements that govern fiat to crypto transactions across multiple jurisdictions. This compliance-first approach ensures that Pi Network's expansion into traditional finance markets happens within established legal frameworks, providing security and legitimacy that builds trust with both users and regulatory authorities. The integration with traditional payment methods like credit cards and digital wallets, such as Google Pay, with hints of future Apple Wallet integration, demonstrates Pi Network's commitment to making cryptocurrency use as familiar and secure as existing mobile banking solutions. This isn't about replacing traditional finance. It's about creating seamless bridges between traditional and decentralized financial systems. What makes Pi Network's current trajectory absolutely fascinating is how this credit card integration amplifies the network effect that's been building for years. Unlike traditional cryptocurrency launches that rely solely on speculative trading, Pi Network has methodically constructed an ecosystem where each new feature multiplies the value of existing components. The direct fiat purchase capability doesn't just make PiCoin more accessible, it transforms every one of those 7,900 plus decentralized applications into potential revenue-generating businesses that can immediately monetize Pi Network's massive user base. Consider the strategic brilliance of this timing. Pi Network Ventures is simultaneously investing in generative AI, fintech solutions, and e-commerce platforms, while the core network gains traditional payment integration. This means portfolio companies can now leverage both Pi Network's verified user base and traditional payment infrastructure, creating hybrid business models that bridge Web3 innovation with Web2 user experience expectations. The result is an ecosystem where blockchain technology becomes invisible to end users while providing all the benefits of decentralization, security, and programmable money. This comprehensive approach explains why Pi Network can simultaneously support individual developers building creative applications in Pi App Studio while also facilitating enterprise-level partnerships that bring traditional businesses into the Pi ecosystem. The 19 million KYC verified users across 200+ countries provide the scale that attracts serious business partnerships, while the 7,900+ decentralized applications demonstrate the grassroots innovation that keeps the ecosystem dynamic and responsive to user needs. The integration of Apple Wallet functionality and similar mainstream tools represents Pi Network's commitment to making cryptocurrency adoption feel completely natural for everyday users. This isn't about educating users to adapt to blockchain technology. It's about adapting blockchain technology to meet users where they already are in their digital habits and preferences. What we're witnessing with Pi Network's credit card integration and strategic ventures represents more than just technological advancement. It represents the maturation of a vision that started years ago. The focus on KYC integration and fraud prevention shows Pi Network understands that sustainable growth requires trust and legitimacy, not just technical innovation. By ensuring every purchase is tied to verified identities, Pi creates an environment where merchants, developers, and users can engage confidently without worrying about bot manipulation or regulatory backlash. The launch of direct fiat purchase inside the Pi wallet represents everything Pi Network has been building toward through years of methodical development. This wasn't about generating quick headlines or satisfying impatient investors. It was about serving real people, building real infrastructure, and preparing for sustained ecosystem impact that will reshape how we think about digital currencies. Pi Network continues proving that meaningful crypto innovation requires more than visibility and social media buzz. It demands strategy, structure, and community trust built through consistent delivery on ambitious promises. As pioneers begin using this function and deepening their ecosystem participation, one truth becomes undeniable. PiCoin has evolved from experimental token to essential digital infrastructure. For those who've waited patiently since Open Mainnet, watching Pi develop methodically while other projects chased quick gains and speculative bubbles, the wait has been absolutely worth it. We're witnessing the transformation of Pi Network from promising blockchain experiment to indispensable economic platform. If this comprehensive analysis helped you understand why this update fundamentally changes Pi's future trajectory, smash that like button to help more pioneers discover this crucial information. Subscribe and activate notifications because with developments this significant happening regularly, you cannot afford to miss what's coming next in Pi's remarkable evolution.